23 female, stopped relying on my husband, 25 male, and I think it's making things worse. Advice? I'm sure you all have heard similar stories. My husband, despite multiple discussions over the past 2 years, never takes initiative in chores or anything in our lives. I'm constantly the one reminding him and asking him to do things, and when I don't, it doesn't get done. He told me he started hating me because of it about 6 months ago, so we both had an agreement that I will stop telling him what to do as long as he starts following up with his promises. I followed up on my end of the promise, and he didn't within a few days. We agreed that since I wake up first to work out and make breakfast, he wakes up with our kid and takes her to daycare before work. After work, I pick up our kid and make dinner and manage the bedtime routine, and he cleans the kitchen while I do that. Every single day, I walk out after bedtime to the kitchen not being touched. It's so disappointing and hurtful. Usually, I get upset at him and tell him that I really want the kitchen cleaned every day, and he just brushes me off, saying he will do it the morning. 25% of the time, he does. But since we had the agreement, I stopped. I just pretended to ignore the mess and would get ready for bed because by then I would have to get up in 7 hours. I let him be responsible for the mess because that's what we agreed on. 2 months later, and our kitchen was always a mess. Constantly, we would have molded food on the stove next to the sink, crumbs everywhere on the floor. So I gave up and started cleaning whenever I had time. I learned to cook and clean at the same time. Stressful with a child, but I learned. Most of the time, there were a week worth of dishes, and we have no dishwasher, so it took me a long time to catch up on washing the dishes. After bedtime, usually I'd be the only one cleaning. He would be laying in bed even though I wake up 2 hours before he does. He would literally yell at me about how I let the dishes get so stinky whenever he did wash the dishes, even though he agreed that he's responsible for cleaning after dinner. So I stopped relying on him and just started taking care of everything on my own. It's been 2 months of that mindset, and I find it harder to respect him now. He seems like a child to me, always complaining about everything and never puts effort, always too tired and grumpy. Today, I was very excited because my husband brought up the idea of a movie night date. He never brings up date ideas or plans them, so it made me so hopeful. He said he would rent a movie, and after bedtime, we would watch it. I made a fancier dinner and put our kid down. Kid took a little longer to go down, but I was fine with it because I figured he would clean today so we can have a movie night. I was wrong. He didn't even bother to close the lids on the pans on the stove. He just turned off the lights in the kitchen. It felt like my heart broke, and I cleaned the kitchen myself again. He walked out, didn't say a word, and watched YouTube videos at the counter. Once I was done cleaning, we went to the bedroom and he just laid down and went to sleep. It hurt so much. I was so hopeful this time. He gets mad at me that I don't treat him like a man, but he never shows me he's reliable. I'm always hurt by his actions. Anyway, any advice on what I should do? People are usually quick to jump to the conclusion of divorce, leave him, get out of the situation. In this case, I think that is exactly what you need to do, or at least start thinking about it. Um, you're 23, he's 25, you're both young, you have a kid together, and you're basically doing everything, even his end of the bargain, that he himself agreed to. And he's just not really putting in the effort that he should be in this. It's not just like a boyfriend girlfriend. You guys are married and have a child together, and yet dishes are moldy and it's a complete mess, and I just can't even begin to picture mold and this extreme mess that's going on in that house. I would definitely recommend leave, divorce. You're ready, you work, at least that's what I gathered from it. Um, yeah, get your own place if you can afford it. If you can't, talk to your support system if you have any, and just go from there. Stay there. It's better to save money while living with other people, like family support system or friend support system, and eventually get your place when you feel ready. Because this man, right now, what you have is a child, toddler, little kid, but then you also have this husband who is kid number two, and that's not what you need at 23. Anyway, wish you the best of luck, and hopefully this changes for the better.